get to it. All right. So today's topic, we are talking about overplaying your role in people's lives. All right. Hey, Mom, how you doing?
Hey,
How's everything? How's your Monday?
mom is going. It's going. I just gotta say it's going.
Life be lifing.
Yes, it does. Oh, my little thing is quicking. Yes, it does. It does, but it's just me feeling like physically under the weather. Nothing mental, nothing mental at all. So,
Good. Okay, so it's just some of those, like, it's not like a little self-care routine to do for yourself, right?
not at all. I've been doing that this weekend. I actually stayed in. I went to church, came back home, did my little time alone. So it was good.
That's good. That's good. So, my Monday is good so far. I only had one client in the morning. I was able to work out early. Excuse me. I'm gonna make some lunch. Pretty good Monday.
Good.
I'll say that. Yeah.
But all strong. So it was a good thing.
So as I'm typing it into the comments and pinning it in the comments, I also want to kind of express it. Today's topic, we're talking about not or stopping, stop overplaying your role in people's
Yep.
lives. And of course, as we do in most of our mental health lives, we kind of dissect the question first before we answer it. So, what's your, how do you feel about, I'm in the right way. In what way is a person overplaying their role in someone's life?
Um,
The way to
you when you overplay your role is when you're constantly trying to find your way to fit into that person's life. Um, when you're when clearly and boisterously the individual or individuals have showed you, hey, I no longer want you, need you. You don't fit into my life, my lifestyle, my world, and yet you keep trying to. But I can do this for you, or but we have such loyalty, we have such history. I won't even say loyalty. We have history, and that's a lot of that's the biggest struggle that as human beings we go through is understanding that we don't, because we have history does not mean that we have to have a longevity, if that makes sense.
Okay.
History equal longevity. I can have history with you, but the journey of where I am going and where you were going are two different paths.
Okay.
You may not, my journey may not require your presence at the time. It may not require where I'm going. You may not be able to go with me because you may not bring anything to my table. You may not be able to contribute to my journey, and vice versa. I may not no longer bring anything to your life, to your journey. Therefore, you taking me along with you may be a dead weight, may be a hindrance, a nuisance.
I want to say one thing though. I feel like the reason I had a hard time like initially saying it is because it's very subjective, and sometimes we're not always told, "Hey, I don't need you in my life right now," or "You're not a positive influence," whatever the case may be. My thing is the reason I had a hard time saying it is because, like, for me, for example, sometimes people don't tell me. They just allow me to do because I'm a very selfish person. They just allow me to do and do and do to the point where it's like I have to realize, oh shoot, I'm overplaying my role. So we're not always told, like, you know what I mean. So like, how do we really distinguish between? Because it's easier when someone tells you, hey, I don't need you
Yeah,
in my life and da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like they're telling it to you. But when someone's accepting of what you're doing for them,
for their own, you continue to do for them, and they don't want you to stop doing for them because it still contributes for them. It's for their benefit, knowing that they don't really value it from you. They're just taking the physical thing from you, but the meaning behind what you're doing is not valued. And sometimes it could come off as you kissing ass. It could come off as you begging that person for their friendship, their attention, their love, when in reality it's just you, again, loyalty, history. I'm doing this because you're my boy, like I feel like I need to help you. I'm doing this because you're my homie, you're my girl. Like, I don't want to see you going through something, but yet that person didn't ask you. They're not
mm,
asking you. you're volunteering and you continue to volunteer, even though they're not saying, no, I don't need it from you. I don't need it anymore. Stop.
But
Because they don't
but
want your feelings.
when
So
so at what point though? Like at what point do you have to tell yourself, hey, I'm doing too much? Well, I think like, 'cause like from what you're saying, it seems like you're saying you have to realize when you're putting more footwork into a relationship than the other person. But
when
what
you're
if you just
when you it's starting to drain you and that person is not pouring back into you. If
mm,
I'm the one always giving, 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 and I feel like when I need that person, when I need those people, they're not there to reciprocate. Why why do I put myself in a position to keep giving and pouring into you when I'm not getting nothing back? If I'm calling you to have a conversation and I'm telling you, hey, I really need somebody to talk to vent, having a really bad day. Do you have a few minutes? Um, well, I guess, are you gonna make it quick? Um, okay, well, go ahead. I'm listening. And then you're talking to the person and you're not getting a confirmation, validation, support back. Or you're sitting in front of the person and you're like, hey, can we talk for a minute? I'm just need to, have a conversation. And the person is like, yeah, go ahead, talk. I'm listening. Wow. Oh, okay. Hmm. And here you go. You're pouring out your heart. Here you go, needing somebody to kind of receive what you're saying and help you process, and you're not getting that in return. It's energy. It's energy. Whether it's on the phone, face to face, virtual, it's energy. And if you can, you as a human being, unless you're deeply craving that person's attention, you may not see it right away. It may take you some time because you're more into it than the person is, and you're craving that. So therefore, your cravings are coming off. It's like craving alcohol or craving chocolate or having that addiction. You're craving that. So that person's presence is all that you are craving. So that person's going to just give you the physical presence. They're not going to give you the emotional. They're not going to give you the spiritual
I would
balancing.
I would say that um I understand where you're coming from. And that's why we have these mental health conversations, just kind of bounce off these topics from each other. But what I've noticed in my life, the way I've been able to stop overplaying the roles in other people's lives is to basically overdo it in my own, if it makes sense. Like to replace the time I'm investing in other people into myself. I feel like it's so easy to get distracted with other people's nonsense or their burdens or whatever it is that we lose track of what we got going on. Like we weren't just born and we're not living and we may
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
or we are going to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's for me, it's very subjective, and whether a person takes this advice and runs with it. But I just noticed that it helped me replacing my time in other people's lives with my own situation, working out,
Focus.
reading more, just doing things like or just relearning myself. Do I like this food still? Do I not like this food anymore? Like whatever, like just traveling, just really focusing on what I got going on. And sometimes I may not know what I got going on, but hey, I'm still gonna try. So for me, it helped to kind of just replace that time and just focus on myself.
Play our roles too, because for our own selfish needs too, we just, like you said, we we are trying to, we're distracting ourselves, we're trying to deflect. So I'm just going to worry about this person, I'm going to engulf their issues and their situation, I'm going to make it my own because I don't want to deal with my own issues. I don't want to deal with what I got going on. So I'd rather invest time in that because I know I'm going to get something out of it. That person may stroke my ego, or I might help the person solve their problem, and that makes me feel like the hero.
Mm,
It's stroking my pride to help this person, to help them find a solution, to help them solve their problem, while I am neglecting my own. Why I don't want to deal with what I got going on, whether it be relationship, job, whatever. I'll reinvest my time in something else.
mm,
So for me personally, how I have overcome a lot of overplaying, because I am a giver. I am a giver by nature. I am a nurturer. I am a parent. Before I can even physically say I was a parent, I am a parent. So for me, I've had to analyze. I've had to sit back and say, Hmm. I noticed the last time I tried to reach out to this person, they didn't have that, time for me. I noticed the time where, I was really in need. That person was not available to me. Or there was many times where I was in need and I could have used that person and they weren't available. So I had to sit back and say, let me see if I pull back and see if that person reaches out to me. Let me see if that person will notice my absence. Sometimes we have to understand if you feel like you're overplaying your role, excuse yourself. It,
It seems to start from like self-awareness though. You have to be self-aware enough to realize your actions and realize, hey, I'm putting more into this, or hey, I'm not putting enough into this. It seems to start from like self-awareness.
everything starts from self-awareness, but sometimes and how the universe miraculously will have you humble yourself in other words, or bring things to your awareness without you even consciously being aware of it. You might you end up in a situation.
I mean, we're like the universe and how the universe and God or higher power, whatever you even believe in,
Yeah.
work. How, but for me, it's God, and for me, how that works is kind of like sometimes we're given signs and we just don't
Oh yeah.
listen.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So for me, it's like the acknowledgement is a form of the self awareness. Like you have to be there enough to understand. Okay, listen, this is a sign.
Yep.
This person does not value my time, or this is a sign that I'm putting more into whatever got going on, job, family, friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, marriage, whatever it is. You have to be aware enough to see the signs and also be aware enough to see your actions. The
Yeah.
signs I was thinking about it, and the signs come from outside, like external forces or external,
Environment.
uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's usually external, but that self awareness is internal, man. You got to make that decision to like, hey, do I want to continue doing this? Am I happy? Or do I want to be happier, or I feel like something is not right, and that just,
Is this
huh?
serving me? Is this fulfilling me? Is this
Mm.
into me? Those are the questions that I ask myself personally. Is this relationship serving me? I've been, I've been friends with so and so for so long. And it's like at this point in time, again, history, because we have that history, we have that loyalty. But is this relationship purposeful? Is it
That's, yeah, like, cause people almost forget they're doing something for a reason. Something. Oh yeah, I love her just for loving her. Cool, but what is the purpose? Are you building? Are you not?
are you
Mind you, yeah, like I don't necessarily know the purpose because that's personal. But understand that we don't do things
just
just
because
to do them. Like, there's a reason behind it. Like when people tell me, "Oh, I did because I wanted to," that's the basis.
yeah,
Like the base. So can we kind of like dig a little deeper? I know there's an answer really. Well,
there's
I think I felt this way. Why'd you feel that way?
there's
Oh, because he did this. So you didn't do it because you felt they just wanted to. You did it out of a reaction. You
right.
know what I mean? Or out of so there's usually a action and a
Correct.
reaction. So you're right. Yeah, so boom, let's go. Like, is this purposeful? Is this situation, is this relationship purposeful? You know what I mean? But even so, even when the situation or relationship or whatever it is purposeful, sometimes you could still be overplaying
Oh
your
yeah.
role.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
uh,
that's evaluation. That's where you have to again take time out to self-evaluate. Take time out to have that conversation with this person, with your significant other, with your friend. Like, hey, what have I contributed to you? What have I been purposeful in your life thus far, or
mm,
last week or two? And you can in turn have, you know what? I feel like we've been a little stagnant. We've been a little stagnant, and we just want to bring around the rosy thing, and we haven't. I haven't learned from you or grown from you, and I don't feel like I'm giving you anything to learn from and grow from at all
that's
as
hard
well.
though. That's hard.
It is. It is
Take
very
the
hard.
next step, and then because sometimes through experience, I'm saying this, not just saying because I've been
Right.
saying it because of social media or I've heard, but through experience, some people are not, they don't want to digest what you're giving them.
No.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to break it down in a way to where it's easily digestible for them because everyone is different. So even when you have to make that initial approach and say, hey, this is not going anywhere, that's a a very mature analysis. And it's not like you're saying, "Oh, I don't care about you or love you or
Right.
whatever it is,"
The
but
patient.
I don't want to just do this just to do it. I'm overplaying my role. 'Cause at this point, there's no role. I'm just doing this. Like, what's the point? What are we doing? What's the, So yeah, I like that. But that's more relationship
No,
based though.
it
You
can
know?
be, it can be work related. You're not growing. You're not fulfilling. You don't feel like you're challenged enough. You're not putting in the consistency. So you're
Mm,
not consistent. Uh, uh, um uh you're not being fulfilled. That's bottom line. You're not being fulfilled. So do you stay in a situation where your purpose is the job is not serving you, or you're not serving the job?
No, of course no. Because as an answer, of course, like you want to grow, you want to stay stagnant. But also, I had a thought process, and I just completely lost it 'cause I was answering. But continue. I'm sorry.
Financially, is a job financially contributing to to what you got going on now? Because with 3 years, what the money was giving 3 years ago is surely not giving now.
Boom. There we go. I just thought about it. Oh, yeah, it's definitely not. Oh, geez. People have to tell me retirement fund this, and oh my gosh, like why would you even tell me that? Why don't you have a kid right now? Oh, geez, please don't even like the economy is not letting me. That's why.
So
But
purpose,
that's hilarious. But basically, when it comes to a job or like kind of example, right? Job, relationship, whatever it is. Um, Even that, for example, whether you're stimulated or you feel like you're not appreciated, you're still overplaying at some point. Like whether you're there and you're not growing, whether you're there and you're doing too much. Like it has to be an understanding of what you want to. It's also kind of selfish, and I noticed that a pattern in our conversations. It kind of starts from selfishness, not in a negative connotation though, but like in a way where it's like just focus on you. If you're not happy, how do you expect to make other people happy?
right?
Yeah, it's not about them, but understand that like you affect people. It's transfer energy.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the bottom line is whatever you're doing in life, make it purposeful. Relationship, financially, spiritually, whatever it is, make it purposeful so that you are getting something out of it and you are pouring something back. And you don't stay where you're no longer valued, welcomed, or even entertained.
I like that. I like that. That was crazy too, because I'll be honest, today I wasn't completely feeling it. I'm glad we had this live. Today, not like being consistent and building something, rain, sleet, or snow. You gotta do it. You know what I mean? And it actually helped me too. It helped me like even more so today. And I think I actually needed it. I just had a conversation like this recently. So it's just yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes, again, not just because I'm your mother and not just because you're my son, but we have to be purposeful. Like, I know my duties as your mother, you know your duties as my son, but I also can't overplay my role in certain aspects of your life, and I don't want you to overplay yours. And if you ever feel that way, it's the conversation piece of what am I getting out of this? How am I growing from this relationship? How am I growing from this business transaction? How does it contribute to me?
Mm,
Everything is a question, everything is awareness. And again, do not allow yourself to go somewhere, to be invited anywhere if you're not valued, if you're just because I'm just a plus one, just because they want to fill that void and they want to meet that quota. No.
yeah. But one thing I'm gonna say before we leave too, when does it become a point where I feel like I'm just taking too much? Because like you said, like find people that you can gain from, right? But I don't want to sound like I'm a succubus or like I'm draining or I'm taking something. It's not like so at what
You
point do I feel
you won't feel that way if the consensus around the table and the people that you are engaging with are feeling the same way about you. If
positive? It's
if I'm at a table with winners and I'm trying to win and they're genuinely trying to help everyone around you win, they're not going to see you as a succubus. They're going to see you as somebody who is willing and they have knowledge and they have something to give
it's
to you, and vice versa from
it's
you.
genuine.
Right.
It's genuine.
The
Okay. Okay.
only way you feel like a succubus is if someone genuinely makes you feel that way. Like, dude, you're always coming around because you want something, or I have nothing to offer you, or I have nothing, or even if they did, they don't want to share
Mm,
because that's selfishness in many human beings. So you're if you are gonna join the table, make sure you look around at who you're gonna be entertaining and who's entertaining you.
okay, that's good. All right, thank you, Mom. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Excuse me. All right, thank you everyone for coming. That was actually an amazing conversation. I really needed that. Seemed to kind of hit close to home, you know. We are gonna post over the weekend. We want to have the audience, everyone engage a little bit more and give their own topics they want to talk about. Of course, we won't say who it's from or no, anything like that. More so anonymous. But we need more mental health topics. I mean, more personal topics. We'll see you guys same time next week, Monday, Mental Health Monday. Mom, anything else?
No, that is all. I'm gonna try to do things differently. I'm gonna try to um, post a video in which you can also share as like a summary to our live,
I
just
like
to kind
that.
of in the middle of the week. I'll add mine, and then you could, pick up from that and just put it in the middle of the week to kind of keep the consistency and momentum
Okay,
going.
okay. Yeah, like I'm a fitness coach, so I'm so focused on the physical. I just got back into the prayer and the meditation, the mental health Mondays and everything. It's needed, It's not just about the physical, also the mental. So thank you, Mom. All right, everyone. I'll see you same time next week. Mental Health Monday, 12 p.m.
Have a
See you.
good one.